Welcome to the Hive. Welcome to the Hive for the Afro Tech Black Book Houston conference event. Be sure to check out the vendors in the back here of the theater. They're all here in the back for you all. Also, as you walk in, there is a full bar as well as a hospitality area with some light refreshments, as well as some areas for you to snap some pictures and get more acclimated with the space. So thank you all so much for coming out again. Welcome to the Hive. We'll be getting started with the program in about 30 minutes. Mix Mingle Network. We'll be back here shortly. Welcome to the Hive. Welcome to the Hive. We'll be getting started here in about the next 30 minutes. Keep in mind that the refreshment area is open as soon as you walk in on your right. Full bar, some light bites, as well as some bakery items for sale. Also, please check out your vendors here in the back. You can see them there in the back of the room, just behind the camera. On the stage, you'll get a chance to see a few panelists. Also, the break rooms will be throughout the building. If you would like a tour of the building, we'll be giving those here in the next 5 minutes. Just make your way to the front and we'll start a tour group here in the. Appreciate you all joining us. We'll be getting started in about 30 minutes. Welcome to the Hive. Welcome to the Hive. We'll be getting started here in about 20 minutes. Please visit your vendors here in the back of the room. Also, as you walk into the building, on the right-hand side, we've got a photo booth interaction as well as a full bar. There's also some light bites as well as some bakery items for sale. We'll be giving tours of the building here in about 2 minutes. You would just meet in the lobby. We'll give the first round of tours before we get started. If anybody is interested and seeing the media production and content spaces here at the Hive, you'll just be right out in the middle. We'll be giving tours here in about 2 minutes. First rounds of tours will be starting here in 30 seconds. So make your way to the opening and the entrance, and we'll be getting started with those tours here in just one moment. Again, welcome to the Hive or the Afro Tech Black Book Houston experience. Welcome to the Hive. Welcome to the Hive. We're about 5 minutes from getting started with today's event. Your panelists are doing their final prep before we get the stage. So please make sure you visit our vendors. Also, we've got the hospitality area open as you come in on your right-hand side. Some light refreshments as well as baked goods, and our full bar is available. We'll be getting started here in about 5 minutes. Actually, I'll be the first voice that you hear. My name is Breon. I'm in the back. Before we get started here in a second, we appreciate y'all joining us today.
Mic check, mic check. How we sounding? We sounded good? We sounded good? Y'all ready? Hey everybody, my name is Jeremy Kraft. I am the co-owner of Black Book Houston. We're Houston's largest Black business directory. We have over 1,300 businesses that we help with their advertising, marketing. On the nonprofit side, we provide free resources, educational opportunities, programming, just anything that we can do to make sure that the businesses on our platform are scalable and sustainable. Today, we're here live at the Hive with Black Book Live, official Afro Tech partner event. Today, we're going to have some phenomenal speakers who are going to come up in two different panels. Panel one, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm not going to give y'all all the juicy details just now. I'm going to let the hosts come up and do their job. But I want to say thank you for everybody who's come out today. I really appreciate it. Black Book really appreciates it. The speakers really appreciate it. I was very intentional about putting this event together because I'm a guy that's all about quality over quantity. So the speakers that you're going to hear from today are doing some amazing things. I can't wait for you all to hear from them. make sure that you ask questions. There's a lot of entrepreneurs, there's a lot of business owners, investors, people who are doing some amazing things, not just who are going to be sitting on this stage, but who are amongst us in the crowd. So please make sure that you're connecting with individuals. If you don't get anything from this, just get that there's opportunities in this room. There's opportunities already within you. So make sure that you take full advantage of this opportunity on today. Connect with somebody that you don't know. You never know who you're going to be talking to, who you're next to, who you're speaking to. We have vendors in the back. Make sure that you support our vendors. Black Book is all about community. And as a community, as we build this ecosystem, it's very important that we pour dollars back into our community. So make sure that you shop with our vendors. We do have refreshments in the back. We have a nice bar that's set up back there for you as well. So if you would like to engage in some libations, it is back there for you. After we go through our first and second panel, after the first panel, we'll actually take a quick intermission so that you can be able to shop more from our vendors, connect more from our vendors, also network. Then we'll go into panel 2. After panel 2, we'll have 4 breakout sessions for you to engage in and just be able to, again, shop with our vendors, but also go to the breakout sessions, get some more information so that you can leave here with something tangible. We want you to be able to leave here with something tangible. I don't want to just put an event together so y'all can hear me talk, hear other people talk. I want you to really receive something. So make sure that you're taking notes, have questions written down. We'll have the mic here for a segment of questions with each panel. So make sure that you're collaborating, connecting, networking, doing all those great things to take your business to the next level, take your individual life or just you as a person to the next level. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop doing all this talking, running my mouth. I'm gonna bring up the host to panel 1, Mr. Breon Rollins. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. First off, thank you all for coming out today and welcome to the Hive. I'm one of the founders here at the Hive, also the founder of TRG Financial, which is a financial investment firm located here in Houston. So we're looking forward to today. Give yourself a round of applause for being here, first off. And you all look good. I feel kind of underdressed and overdressed at the same time. I had a cowboy hat too, brother. My bad. I should have wore it again. We'd have been in tandem today. But I'm going to bring the people up. This first panel will be about 45 minutes. We'll be talking through a variety of topics. So I'll bring the group up one at a time. We'll have 3 here for the first. We'll take a break. We'll get a chance for some questions. And then we'll go on to the second part of the panel. So y'all ready to get started? Come on now. It's a Monday night. Y'all ready to get started? All right, good deal. So first, coming to the stage, if I can have Ryan Akers, please make your way to the stage. Let's give Ryan a round of applause. So Ryan, if you don't mind just introducing yourself to everybody before we get started.
Ryan Akers, serial entrepreneur, co-founder of AYG Insurance and Financial Services, and I'm in the finance space.
Okay, and we'll get into that here in one moment. Secondly, we have Spencer Middleton. Spencer, if you don't mind making your way to the stage. And Spencer, just right there, if you don't mind introducing yourself to the audience.
Yeah, Spencer Middleton, thank you.
No problem.
Spencer Middleton, I am the division president for Clark Construction. So if you've traveled through IAH here recently and had challenges with, getting to your gate on time, I'm the guy that you can kind of talk to about that. But I oversee Clark's advanced manufacturing division, which includes anything that's producing a commodity, whether it's semiconductor chips, batteries, EV, you name it. That's kind of what I look after. But also prior to working for Clark, I worked for Meta, where I oversaw $85 billion portfolio of data centers. And then prior to that, I worked for Elon Musk in Austin, where I oversaw the design and construction for the Gigafactory in Austin, Texas.
Now, this brother's doing a lot of impressive stuff, but we can't boo. Hold on. We can't boo the IAH thing because the airport is in shambles right now. So we got to blame you, brother. So we will get to that here in one moment. And last but not least, Tracy Gibson, if you don't mind making your way to the stage. If you don't mind, Tracy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tracy Gibson. I am the founding and managing attorney of Gibson Hamilton PLLC. I do civil litigation, and I also help individuals and entrepreneurs protect what matters most to them. So everything from your assets to your contracts to RFPs, helping you get funding, anything that helps you push and move the needle forward for your business, I specialize in that.
No, thank you so much. So you all see we have a fantastic panel aligned for you all. So just a few things before we get started. Housekeeping details, restrooms are just off to my left. Both the men's and women's are right there. We're also filming and streaming this live right now. So if you see that camera right there in the back, please do your best to not walk right in front of that camera. There is an audience viewing this as a live stream as well. We're also recording this content so you all can see that after we get done with the event for today. So just kind of keep that in mind as you all are here in the room. So let us get started. So I wanted to just jump right in. So Ryan, I'll go to you first. All right.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned multiple ventures, corporate things that you've been involved in. How do you leverage technology in your financial space and scale operations in the community?
First of all, good question. I would like to say that we leverage that by using technology, data-driven technology, and also education, right? And when I say education, it's not necessarily for us or for myself or the company, but for those that we're seeking to be our clients.
So you're in the space where you'll educate the clients and then they can bring that back to their communities then.
100%.
So what does that look like in your world then on a day-to-day basis?
Well, right now, more day-to-day is more B2B. We have a platform where we talk directly to the business owners, CEOs that are out there, get them connected with the information on the insurance side, and then also save them money. So we're saving them money and their employees money off of net FICA tax savings. Right?
Yeah, that's great. And in that, just to kind of lean in a bit more, saving people money, because right now we're all stretched in some way. What does that look like in your organization?
It looks like $639 per employee for the business owner, and then also about an average of $200 in extra spending now for the employees to be able to get additional benefits that would typically cost them money out of pocket.
No, that's great. That's great. And these are resources that we need to know about. So we appreciate you sharing that. And Spencer, I'm gonna jump right to you. Now, you mentioned I'm gonna not hold against you what's happening at the airport. I'm still a little upset about. I fly all the time, and now I know that you're the problem. I know you now, but you also mentioned a lot of companies that you work for and have managed large portfolios, whether it be in construction, technology with those businesses. You mentioned Meta, Tesla, et cetera. Can you give us some experience on your approach in innovation for those large organizations, and how do you apply that experience in your construction industry?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from me leaving the tech industry is you walk in thinking tech is one thing, and then you get there and you recognize it's something completely different. I think the biggest eye-opening moment for me in tech was recognizing they don't always have it all figured out. And so I think a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have it all figured out before we get started. The tech industry is the exact opposite. It's like, get started and then we'll figure it out. And so learning that not only changed my perspective on like how I do business and how I lead projects, but it also changed my personal life as well, because a lot of times we strive for perfection. And then the harsh reality is perfection doesn't mean what we think it means. It's being as good as possible if you were to go look at the Webster's Dictionary. So in my mind, taking that application of what I learned at a Meta, working for Elon, where it's like an 80% solution is good enough. I never thought that would be the case. Like, you see all these people achieving great things and you assume it's well thought out. They've got it all written down. And the harsh reality is that's not how the real world works on that side.
So you're telling us all in this room right now, the tech billionaires don't have it all figured out. Because I want to be a tech billionaire, and then if I don't have to figure it out, we might be on our way. So you're telling me they don't have it all figured out?
No. So an 80% solution is all figured out for them. Okay. And so again, a lot of people think it has to be fully baked before we can go. A lot of times we would walk into a room and Elon would give us a challenge. And believe it or not, like half of us didn't agree with what we were doing, but we would stack hands and it was plan a record. Plan a record meant the most information that was available to you, you made a decision on that, and everyone's marching that direction.
Wow. Now, you mentioned something that I'm familiar with this concept, but I want to make sure that the people in the live stream and the room gets this. 80%. Let's talk about that just a bit, because most people think you do have to be all the way ready before you go. So let's talk about what that 80% means.
Yeah. So there's actually a rule that's called the 80-20 rule. And so a lot of people don't quite grasp what that means. And so part of the part of the approach that we took was we agonized over the 20% that wasn't going right while doing the 80% that we know actually worked.
Correct.
And so a lot of times we focus on the 80% and ignore the 20. So it's just getting that ratio of 80 to 20 of what you focus on and where you place your time to be calibrated to that rule. If you're spending 80% of your time on 20% of the problems, you're probably going to be very successful. If you're spending 20% of your time on the 80% of the things that are going well, you probably will struggle with scaling.
Man, I'm gonna need you to say that one more time because this matters. That if there's something you want to write down, this is it. So say that one more time.
If you're spending 20% of your time focused on the 80% of the things that are going right, you're wasting your time. You should spend 80% of your time focused on the 20% of the things that aren't going right. So if you look at tech billionaires, and I've, again, been fortunate to be around one, I can tell you being in the room with him, all of his ideas or a lot of his ideas are half-baked. But it's like, okay, let's get started because I got a rocket that I got to go fly. And it's like, okay, like we'll figure the rest out. So that's kind of the rule.
Yeah, and I got some half-baked ideas too, y'all. So if anybody wants to invest some money in me, I got them in the back in spades. We can get that done. Thank you. All right, so Tracy, I'm going right to you now. Now you're in legal services. Now technology and legal services is interesting. So how have you used technology, changed the way that you've done your business? How did you better serve your clients using technology?
Technology has been a godsend. A lot of us, everyone is using ChatGPT, right? Well, please do not use it as your lawyer. Like, please do not. Actually, we get so much business from people who use ChatGPT first and then realize it's not a human brain. It doesn't get you into the courtroom to be able to respond to another attorney's argument. It's not quick on its feet. Sometimes it lies. It doesn't give you cases that are actually real. So, but it is a good starting point. But automation has literally changed the game for all industries. Like I'm able to put something into a system and send it to my client immediately. We want our clients to be able to feel like they have access to the information we have, that they're being kept abreast of how their case is going. And so automation, integrations, it enables you. It does take a long time to set up if you're not tech savvy. But once you get it going and you get systems in place, it makes everything easier, not only for the attorney, but for the client's understanding of cases.
So you're telling me that I don't have a PhD in law from ChatGPT? Because right now I'm walking around like I'm Juris Doctorate. So what is going on?
No, you have like an elementary.
Ah, that hurts. That hurts. So maybe my half-baked ideas are not good because they came from ChatGPT.
Yeah, don't use ChatGPT for the full case, but just to maybe understand what's going on, what the law is a little bit. It's a good starting point. It's a good sounding board, but I would always encourage someone to go talk to a lawyer if you can.
Okay, so let's lean in some technology in general. What are some things that maybe an attorney might use that could support your practice?
So cloud-based services, that's a great thing to hold all your documents, making sure privacy is one of the utmost important thing, especially between clients. We use different things like Clio to basically host how we're doing everything, keeping everything on track, because you can get 100 clients, but if you're not keeping a database on who they are, what their case is, when you saw them, what's the last thing you said to them, keeping all the invoices in one place. There's so many great technological platforms that help you to house all of your information.
No, that's great. And before we open it to questions, I would just want to throw one out to the group. Anybody can tackle this one here. So what lessons have you learned trying to integrate technology into your current businesses? What maybe good things have happened or some bad things that may have happened? Anybody?
I was gonna say, who better to hear from than you?
I think the biggest part with tech is a lot of times people allow their fear to kind of hold them back from making the pivot. And once they recognize that, oh crap, I should have made the pivot, the amount of opportunity that has passed them by is like immense. I also think the other big thing from a tech perspective is sometimes we over pivot. It's like getting the timing right with pivots in technology is extremely important. A part of my job at Meta was also overseeing research and development as it was flowing out of being, the science project over here to actually being integrated into a project that we were building. And getting that timing right is very, very important. And I think a lot of people don't truly value and appreciate that. And I think the last thing from a tech perspective is recognizing that it's here today and it will be different tomorrow. And so, like, evolving and changing with the times is extremely important, because a lot of us don't like change. It's natural. Our natural inclination is to say, I don't like this. So I force myself to evaluate new talent from a just cold eyes perspective of taking my personal feelings out of it. Does this make me more efficient? Does this make me better? As opposed to the old system worked just fine. Why are we changing?
Yeah, and people fear change. I mean, change is one of the things that most people get a lot of apprehension, anxiety from, because if something's you feel like it's working, why change it? But it can always work better, or there can be an enhancement. Technology is one of those things you could bolt on top of a process that just makes it more functional. So thank you for adding that. All right, one other one that I wanted to bring out. What tools or skills do leaders need in the tech space with their current positions that will help them navigate this a little bit easier?
So for this, I'm going to say be change agile. He used the word pivot. You have to be able to be in a place where you're not stuck to one thing or another, right? So being change agile is definitely going to help you. And then being teachable, right? Because a lot of times we'll get into a position and we'll feel like we're the only ones that know something, and will hinder our growth because we won't listen. So being teachable.
No, that's great. And this is directly for you. With AI and technology, how can people protect themselves in a legal environment? Because if you think about it, the infrastructure of the world has changed. People are using your image, using your likeness, etc. How can people protect themselves on the legal aspect of that?
I would say make sure you are protecting your brand, especially if you have a business. Go get those patents. Go and get USPTO. Get a lawyer if you can. You can. I mean, ChatGPT can maybe help you with that one. Those are
See,
more
don't tell me
simpler
that. Don't tell me that now.
Actually, those are one of the most, like, the contract stuff is a little bit simpler. You can rely on ChatGPT, but make sure you're protecting your brand from the beginning. Do not wait till you're out there hustling, getting a good brand identity on TikTok and Facebook to then go try to protect it, because people will swoop in on you so fast. If they see you making a little bit of noise, if they see, there are people who wait for people to have children and then go steal the child's name, like Blue Ivy or Northwest or stuff like that. Like, people are waiting for those little things. Like, when I created my website, I'm running for Harris County Democratic Party chair, and my website is tracyagibson.com, but I went and also bought tracygibson.com because I don't want anybody to get that one and then put something that doesn't align with me, and that sometimes people miss the A. But now it redirects to that because I've protected my asset, so that's how you do that.
No, that's great. So before we open to some questions, let's give them a round of applause, please. All right. So if there's any questions in the audience, we did have a mic here in the middle. Someone took my mic. I don't know what happened to it. We had a mic in the middle, but I can give mine up also if someone does have a question. So go ahead. Oh, here comes the mic. They're bringing it back. So I don't know what happened there in the middle. So you can just ask right there and we'll be able to get you an answer, brother.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bolade Ogorinde. I am a dentist. I didn't want to come here because, like, Afro Tech, but this is a great room. I'm a dentist, so I'm not in tech. But this is a great room. You said about sorry, what's your name? I would love to.
Spencer.
Spencer, yeah, Mr. Spencer said that you did tech, now you're in construction. But what struck me was that you said that the visionaries that we see, they don't have it all figured out. You didn't even tell me the percentage of where they work it up to before they throw it to you. But you said that if you can get 80%, you have done well. I like that, because as a dentist, you have to know 100% before you start out. You have to know very close to what you're doing before. You get what I'm saying? You have to have it figured out before you start, before you touch a patient. But in the tech, you said 80%. So, and also as a businessman, if I could think, okay, ideas, whatever's coming, if we could 80% of it, we would do well. So, but what confused me is you said that if you focus your 80% on 20% that you do not have going well, and then that you will succeed. So I'm thinking that's possible, but does that mean that the 80% that you got down, you're still working, you're still moving on that direction? Is that what it is?
Yeah. So the 80%, Elon would always say the only thing that gets better with time is wine. And so we don't spend a lot of time talking about the things that are doing well. Keep doing that.
You're good.
Take that 80% and focus on the 20% that's not going well and continue to evolve and get better there.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to confirm. Thank you. And for you, man, I'm a dentist. I have a practice. It's 2 years. We celebrated 2 years last month. Thank you. So I'm in a tough phase where you're creating everything from scratch. So you talked about patent. Like, what are things that could be patented? Like,
Can you repeat that?
patent. Sorry. Yeah.
What things can you patent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I have some referrals for you
Okay.
to give you that information. I'm more so focused on trademarks.
Okay.
So yeah, but I have some great people who do patents that can help you with that.
Okay. All right.
So make sure you find Tracy. And you know, brother, my dentist started working on me with 80% success. So I might need to come see you. When you said 100%, I'm like, hey, I need to go find someone that's willing to do the 100.
You
So
got it down.
yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your question. Any other questions for this group before we bring the next panel up? All right, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. All right, so group B, we've got Luke. If you don't mind making your way to the stage, Luke, making your way to the stage. Just right here, brother. Please introduce yourself real quick.
It's a lot more nervous up here. It's easier when you're back there. My name is Luke Cadet. I'm the founder of Ubuntu Audio, an audiobook production and media company that me and my co-founders founded, where we curate books and stories and narratives for people of color. And we're creating what we're calling a catalog as a service, where we want to leverage our infrastructure to empower others to enter the audiobook space as well.
Thank you so much. All right, Dr. Reagan Flowers, if you don't mind making your way up, please.
Hello, everyone. Reagan Flowers. I am a sustainability strategist, STEM education, and policy advocate. I largely work in the pre-K through 20 space, and constantly looking at the data and filling the gaps with filling the pipeline with STEM talent.
Okay, all right, thank you. And Dezion Hubbard, please make your way to the stage. Please, if you don't mind.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Dezion. Feel free to call me Dez for short. Essentially, I'm a senior data scientist across various industries. Most of my recent success has been across oil and gas, refinery operations. I guess a proud moment for the culture. I guess I just want to drop that because my mom said I have a way of downplaying success. I did recently develop a AI-based application that detects emissions coming out of flares, at the largest refinery in New Mexico.
Man, congratulations. Yeah, a round of applause for that.
Yeah, it's pretty huge because I've jumped into space to where when I have been flown out to New Mexico, I'm the only one in the room that looked like me, around a lot of executives and stakeholders. And have had the opportunity to make a difference. And so that application has been implemented on 4 different flares within the refinery. As a matter of fact, all the flares within the refinery. So that's been pretty huge. Not only just the fact for the culture, the company, it saves them money, but I think the biggest piece is the difference that it makes within the community. When I had a chance to just go around the community, around that refinery to see the application I developed, I look forward for it to save lives, health, those different things like that. So that's a big thing for me. But yeah.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Okay. So Luke, I'm gonna get right to it. Now you mentioned audio platforms, storytelling, all of that. How do you leverage technology and digital platforms in your space? Because if you're talking audiobooks, we're all doing that on a device. So what are you using to leverage technology there?
Right now, we're actually exploring how we can leverage AI to help us with the curation of book collections. Because with the platform that we're building, we want to target our demographic specifically. Because I think we read, you just need a one, market to us, and two, curate a experience that we actually can relate to. And so, leveraging AI to not only help us curate the collections that our audience would be interested in, but also I had a conversation with a young lady the other day where AI voice is becoming a thing. And to Miss Tracy's point, and by the way, I should vote for her. By the way, she's running for chair. But for your voice is IP,
Yeah.
right? And so we're entering a space where AI is creating new ways of thinking and new ways of thought. Where back in the day, you may not have necessarily considered your voice as an IP, and now that's something to consider, so that no one takes your voice, takes your likeness, and those as a source. So we're trying to see how we can bake in our contracts, how we can leverage this IP law for the narrators that we have, because we have over 200 to 300 narrators in our pipeline, to IP their voice in the contracts that we have with them. So that way it saves them time on the production side, so they can just narrate one book, and then from there with the IP contracts that we have, we can leverage those voices to narrate other books, but still give them their royalties as if they were in the booth recording it.
No, that's fantastic. And, we're in an audio space in this building. So maybe just for everybody on the live stream as well as here, let's have an IP conversation, because I don't think a lot of people know that everything that we do could be our own property. So maybe explain how you use that, how you explain that to creators and or people who are working with you on your audio platform.
All right, I'm gonna try to unpack that. So IP, for those that don't know, is intellectual property, and anything could be an IP, whether it's your voice in this case, your likeness, your face, your trademarks in terms of the name of your company, etc. All that is intellectual property. An idea that you may have had for a business, you know what I mean? All that is intellectual property, and it's so important that we kind of like capture that. And the conversation you guys were having earlier, I should have went up and actually asked a question to the lawyer. But the conversation that we were having earlier about how you can protect that, you can use AI, but obviously you want to get a lawyer for that. And like I said, for us, we're trying our best. And luckily for us, we are connected within the industry. So I've spoke to some of the VPs and presidents of some of the major publishers. I've spoken to a sister who's one of the vice presidents for recorded books. They have 80,000 plus audiobooks titles. And we've been talking to them about, hey, as we all know, Black folks are usually the first ones that get pushed out when this technology gets introduced. And so a lot of you people I've been talking to are also Black. So we have an in-house conversation about how do we make sure that we protect our folks when these technologies are starting to impact, and how do we make sure that we protect their IP and their voices. And so that's what's triggering some of the conversations that's happening now contractually with narrators, with authors. I think a year or two ago, I don't know if you guys noticed, but SAG-AFTRA, which is one of the biggest, they had a whole strike because of this specific issue. And so we're having those conversations on a high level with the people that matter, and not only just to protect the interests of the authors, but also the companies, because people are getting sued, right? And so I think it's a conversation we should continue to have, especially for our community, because we are going to be impacted tremendously by it.
No, and thank you. And I hope you all know that when you came in here, I already started capturing y'all IP. Like what we bring in this building, I'm putting it out for sale right after this. It's too late. So y'all made it. Thank y'all for getting me some new content. I'm just messing with you. All right. So Dr. Reagan, now, technologies that are emerging for sustainability and measurable success, what impact does that have on STEM in the education world as well as community initiatives for you?
That's a great question. There are a lot of powerful sustainability tools that are out here. In education, I would say if the tools, what's important, they have to support personalized learning. They have to be able to give you access, right? And they're tools that, we've got to get beyond as a community using technology for the sake of using technology, but using technology as co-designers, co-innovators. And so it's really being smart and using these emerging technologies as resource guides. to really help us make decisions, I would say.
Now you mentioned resource guide, which is interesting because right next to you, Des, you said we got to be on the building end of it. He's an example of that.
Right.
But as it relates to a resource guide, what's an example of that? How can we, start maybe younger to make sure that there's resources, guides available for people with this technology?
Right. So there are all these great platforms, and you've got VR, you've got the augmented reality, AR, and you've got just extended reality, which is the umbrella of all of the virtual reality tools, right? And so, I would say that, gosh, we use them for data, for the analytics, and we use it to make decisions fast, to do things smarter. If it ain't working, get rid of it. We use it, when we think about sustainability and the environment in terms of measuring water quality or energy efficiency, right? And these are things that are showing up in our classrooms, smart technology, smart cities, blockchain, different things of that nature. And so directing us to more skilled pathways, I would say.
No, thank you so much. And I'm gonna go right to you on that, Des, because you have developed something that's already in practice and being used. What was your curiosity to get you towards that? How did you use technologies to support what you built for the flare issue that you found out?
In my career or early on before
just as you got into it, because this is a unique thing that you're doing. How did you even get to that space?
Okay, I'm gonna address a few things. I'm gonna start with the resources that you asked. I came out of third world Texas. You know what I'm saying? I was not on a path for like the major colleges. I didn't even know I was going to college. Had been through the system. By the time I came out the system, I fell in love with biology, chemistry. Ended up going to Texas Southern University. Again, was partially in the streets. Out the streets, I even had like that imposter syndrome now where I am in my career. But throughout it all, I think it was that drive with statistics, numbers. Again, this boy that came out the hood fell in love with chemistry and got his bachelor in chemistry after being in the system. And so then it was just that drive for the love of figuring things out, the complexities, everything else that everybody else hated at TSU when they were taking chemistry. They hated the class. I loved it. So I think that was the real driver, that piece. Jumped over to the industry of data science, IT, that space, statistics, and just fell in love with it. Kept going. Always been that person that's just been curious. Had the opportunity to go over to this oil and gas company, support the refinery. First thing I did was I looked at the business problem. I looked at a major pain point for this company. And these guys had all type of fines for violations and different things like that. It's like this is the business problem. How are we gonna take this business problem? It's my job to be able to take that problem, understand it, and then drive it into a data-driven solution. And so just reverse engineering, taking my skill set, taking my knowledge, taking everything I've been through. I used to hustle back, for Texas Southern and all those different things like that. Just taking the whole drive.
Now he doesn't mention. Hold on. He doesn't mention hustling a few times.
Yeah.
Hold on. What? Yeah. We ain't trying to get into your business right now. Should I be nervous up here? Because what kind of hustling were you doing, brother? What's going on?
All I can say is God is good.
God is good all the time.
Yeah.
God is good. All right.
Yeah.
Now, quick question, just to follow up. As you were developing, you found the problem, or as you're working towards the problem, what did your chemistry background help? What helped you get to solving that problem?
Yeah, by this time I'm a senior data scientist, okay. So I'm rocking and rolling, just really understanding what they got going on, what that problem was. And so it's like when you hear what your client is going through, I look at all my stakeholders, even internally as clients, hearing what they're going through, you just begin to develop a possible solution. Before we can even implement an actual solution, you have to go through testing to kind of validate the assumption, is what we say. And got to a point able to validate the assumption, had a great hypothesis, and it led to that application being implemented.
Now, I don't know too many brothers that left the streets and using hypothesis on the stage. So let's give this brother a round of applause before we get in trouble. All right, now, Dr. Reagan, I'm gonna come back to you just on the education side. how do you find the students or the ones who may be interested in this in your environments? Like, what do you look for in your environments?
Human beings.
Okay.
So anyone who be willing to step into the space of solving a challenge or a problem, and that's something we were talking about earlier, Des and I. It's creating these problems that are engaging and just putting them in front of our young people. The challenge is getting the adults to bring the opportunities to our young people to see that they have the capacity, that they can do it, or to give them the space to fail forward and to learn, to explore, and to experience. And so I tell folks, there's no, someone talked to me recently and said, hey, we'd like to bring your program in, but should we pre-test the students? I'm like, absolutely not. We meet every student where they are. They all have a gift, and we're going to figure that out. And that's where we'll work with them. We start there. But largely, I would say when working with young people, it's the adults who get in the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I started on resources early and got kind of ADD moment.
Hey, it was that trapping.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You don't mention it because you mention it again. I'm kicking you out. I'm just go ahead.
You know, real talk with the resources, man. Those of us who have made it, especially coming out like where I've come from, you know what I'm saying, we got to go back to where Dr. Flowers is, you know what I'm saying, make sure we're being part of that resource solution, you know what I'm saying, within the communities as well. I think that's important. A lot of times
definitely.
we make it, pull out into the suburbs. Don't get me wrong, I'm out in the suburbs, you know what I'm saying, but I need to make sure, and we need to make sure that we're giving back, you know what I'm saying, to that generation that's coming up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Luke, one more for you before we go to anybody who has questions in the audience. Platforms like yours, how can you make sure that you're leveraging technology in a safe and effective way for people? Because again, you mentioned the IP conversation, people coming in. What can platforms like yours do to make sure we're uplifting and supporting our community as we go into this new space?
I want to first say thank you, brother, because I'm a fellow hoodster, and I appreciate
See, look, hold on. What panel did y'all put me on right now? You know what I'm saying? Do I need to start trap? I'm just going. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? I just want to say thank you because that's so important, and I think you're a perfect example of what's possible when we're given an opportunity. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, bro. So that being said, back to your point in terms of, can you read the question just one more time?
Yeah, just what can you do? Because you have a platform that you're taking people's content, you're using people's data, you're making sure they have their IP right. How can you do that in a safe way? Because, you know, people getting bad deals. They end up in a situation where they're used, and they're used by our community sometimes. So what are ways that you're making sure that doesn't happen?
I think, first of all, you need to be integral, like having integrity, having values, having character matter, and dealing with people that actually have that. You know what I mean? I think that's the number, because whether it's technology, you're still dealing with humans. You know what I mean? And if you're not a good human, you're not a good human. You get what I'm saying? So I think dealing with good humans is the first step. The second step for us is to make sure that we're being fair, right, with our contract deals. And I think, especially for us, speaking for us, we actually, because we understand we have a platform, we usually give more to the authors and the publishers. Because it's not necessarily because we can't take more like the other platforms are. It's just that it's your work. And, you know, and for me, I have that kind of conscious, like, it's your work. We're the platform distributing it, but at the end of the day, it's your work. We're helping get your work out there. So who are we to take your work as if it's ours? You know what I mean?
That's a great way to approach it too, because a lot of places, that's a round of applause. Because a lot of places would try to say that we own it once you're a part of our platform, but you're just giving them the vehicle to get more eyeballs or ears onto what they're doing. So
exactly.
No, that's great.
So I think that's probably one of the main things, is just being fair and having a human conversation. Like, listen, this is what our agreements are. This is how we do things. This is our process. But on an individual level, how can we help you? How can we empower you? Especially for platforms or companies or businesses and specifically that are trying to target and focus on our community.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because we need less of that fraud.
Definitely, completely agree. All right, so any questions for panel 2? Just make your way to the mic.
I wanted to show my buddy I still move quicker than him. So
All right. Let's hear it.
So, listening to each one of you, I'm Lalu Davies. I'm a real estate developer. You're each sort of multidisciplinary professionals. You're a chemist turned data scientist, biologist turned educator turned innovator. Not sure what your background is, but you're using tech with audio. So it seems like having that multidisciplinary background has been helpful for you. How do those of us who are just common non-street entrepreneurs, how should we think about how we can incorporate these elements of innovation into what we're doing?
Yeah, I think it's a few pieces. I had a guy, business owner, billionaire, at a conference that was here said, you have to make sure you're able to pivot or die. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to adapt with the changes of time. That's number one. So for me, as being in chemistry, I told Dr. Flowers this earlier. It was few positions, a lot of people who was going after him. So for me, I had to identify a space that I could thrive in, or else that's that part where if you don't pivot, you die. I did what I made that pivot into something that I was still passionate about, something that was challenging, that worked out for me. I think as business owners, and even if you're not business owners, one of the areas that you can go into, I think this answers your question, is like targeted analytics. Utilize targeted analytics. And I think within that space, that's how I've been successful. There's opportunities to be able to take your business. So if you have to pivot or try to reinvent your business, there are different opportunities within technology, like targeted analytics, that could be valuable.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Just to add a little, I think you also have to have a curious mind. Because for me personally, I'm into a whole bunch of things like technology. I just had a talk the other day with medicine. So I have a very curious mind. And I think that's what's helped me leverage my ability to kind of maneuver in different industries and different spaces, whether it's healthcare, whether it's government, whether it's tech. It's because I'm always curious and I'm always intrigued and wanting to learn and know more and how do things work. And so I think having a mentality like that and being interested in learning could tremendously help you see more greater opportunities in what you're doing and how that connects to something else. So
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Awesome. Pointed question to the doctor. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name the right way. Could you please?
Reagan
Okay.
Flowers.
Thank you. So I was curious, you are deep within education. These brothers here are deep into technology. How could we potentially partner to give back to our youth in the Houston community to perhaps produce the next generation of data scientists, software engineers, etc.? Your stories are very captivating. I'm just curious to know, how could we potentially work together and partner?
Well, that's great. And there's always such a need. I was sharing with Des, the work that I do is really inspired by all of you. I get to sit in these rooms, I get to hear about your pain points, the things that you're doing, and I get to create these big problems for students and teachers to solve, and that's making their learning relevant, and they're understanding why they're learning what they're learning in their classrooms, because textbooks are outdated the minute they're published, right? And so the only way that they're going to get to know about any of these things is going to be through STEM programming, some type of project, some type of partnerships. And so I am very easy to reach. Reagan at reaganflowers.com. We're always looking for volunteers, the human capital. We're always looking for dollars, of course, to do the work in our communities. And as we do know that data shows us that the lowest performing groups within the STEM spaces are still Black American students or African Americans. And so there is a space for you. They don't get to see people like you, to be inspired, to be motivated, to know that, there is a possibility of something that they can do. And so please, you don't have to be all formal. Hit me up on email, Reagan at reaganflowers.com. The nonprofit I founded 24 years ago is cstem.org, CSTEM. That's communication, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the C is so vital, the communication piece, because like you guys just shared, you're coming from the hood, I'm taking kids to competition and they're in front of judges like, I hooked up the whatchamathing to the whatchamathing, and, pow, and, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not engineering. Those are not your engineering terms. That's not how you built this robot. And so, but this is why this matters, in being able to connect and collaborate. So I look forward to working with any of you who are interested.
Thank you. We got a couple more minutes. Yep.
Bobby Bryant and Des, this is for you. I've been self-employed for about 30 years, going on 30 years now. And it was interesting to hear your take. I remember being in corporate America, and I was a horrible employee because I always was trying to tell them what to do. So I quit and became an entrepreneur. But I was curious, when you are innovating as an employee in what you stated, what kind of protections do you have as an individual for IP and patents? I have an idea to that, but I gotta imagine that there's some contractual, mutual, or none at all that protects you as an individual. Talk a little bit about that. Innovating as an employee.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I guess it's a good news, bad news situation. Of course, so I'm an employee of that company. So I guess it would be almost in the sense like first dibs. You know what I'm saying? It technically would, the company would own that that application. The good news is they never move for patent or trying to IPs and those different things like that. They didn't. I've been at a company to where when you build technology, they coming forward. You know what I'm saying? They are ready to, legally try to get it in place. And I'm trying to be mindful, as I said, because we got cameras and everything like that taking place. But I'll say, for some reason, that wasn't a conversation. Yeah, that wasn't a conversation. So with saying that, because legally, Dez is not allowed to, go out and sell that application or anything like that, and respect their properties. I just have to get creative and keep innovating within the space, have other applications that are in the pocket that not necessarily I'm going to, develop as an employee, more so use my brain and go to my consulting side, startup side, business side, and be able to make something happen with that particular application. Yep. I'm sure a lot of people are in your situation. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
All right, a couple more.
Good evening, everybody. Martell Matthews, co-founder of Black Wall Street and Trustavio Insurance. I am curious because I think that thoughts can really change our lifestyle. And when I was in college, that helped change my mindset, right? Like you brothers, I'm from Mo City, South Park, baby. But, but as you elevate, you start to grow and think differently, right? So I'm curious for any of you, if you could take yourself back to when you was 20 years old, what is one tech tool or software that you would tell yourself to focus on to prepare you for your industry?
And maybe just one of you here. We got a few seconds left.
Yeah. Man, I just throw Python out there. I just throw it, coding Python. Honestly, I would try to have gotten ahead of ChatGPT. But Python would be that one. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'd say HTML, even though I did learn it in college. And the reason I say HTML is because React Native is an application development tool that a lot of people are utilizing now. And HTML is the language code base that it's primarily ran on. So had I learned that, I could have been building all types of apps, or not just learned it, but kept it in my brain. But
all right, one more.
All right. Hey, you guys. I'm Jasmine LaCour. I have the first and only beauty program for the youth in Houston with social emotional learning curriculum incorporated that I developed myself. So my question is for you, Dr. Flowers. What's one piece of tech software that you would recommend that I incorporate into my curriculum without damaging the integrity of it?
So is your tech direct to your end user, student or educator, or?
Yes. It has both.
Okay. So I would say in order to advise you, you have to think about a couple of things. Mm-hmm. How do they access it? And are there any challenges with them accessing it without an adult? Is it school-based driven or home-based? And so we can talk more about that because you have different challenges that you have to navigate depending on how you're reaching your end user, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
but I'd be happy to talk to you about that.
Thank you, Dr. Flowers.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes with our second panel Please visit our vendors. The hospitality suite is open right now. Make sure you get the contact information of the individuals on the stage, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you all so much. First group of panelists, if you don't mind making your way to the stage for a photo. First group of panelists, if you don't mind making your way to the stage for a photo.
Of course.
I want to get one with you.
Just don't forget though.
All right. Start making your way back to your seats. We'll be getting started in about 5 minutes. In about 5 minutes with the second panel. We'll be getting started in about 5 minutes with the second panel. Make your way back to your seats. Before you make your way back to your seats, though, please visit our hospitality area. It's the door when you come in on the right. We also have the photo booth and our vendors in the back. Please make sure you are supporting those vendors and check out the items that they have in the back of the room. We'll be getting started in about 5 minutes. Thank you all again. Welcome to the Hive. I've also been informed that they are doing raffles in the back. You don't want to miss out on something free, so be sure to go in the back, visit our vendors. One table is doing Amazon gift cards. The other table is also raffling off some of their services. So please make your way to the back for our vendors to participate in those raffles as well. All right. Let's make our way back to our seats. The second panel will be getting started now. The second panel will be starting now. Your panelists will be making their way to the stage. First group will be coming up here in just one moment. Your host, Charles Gordon, will be taking the stage for the second panel. So we'll be getting started. Please make your way to the seats, and we'll be getting started here in about 1 minute. In about 1 minute.
LP, let me know when you're ready.
About to kill the music now, so you good to go.
Welcome back to Black Book Live. How y'all feeling? So far, so good. Was the first group good? Yes, no, yeah. Y'all feel it? That was great. That was phenomenal. All right. Well, we just getting started. Once again, I'm Jeremy Kraft, co-owner of Black Book Houston. Again, thank you all for coming. It's an amazing event. I'm having a phenomenal time seeing all of this wealth of knowledge that's being poured into this room. I hope y'all are soaking it up as much as I am. Like I said, we just getting started. This next group that's coming up is super tech heavy, super tech driven. I know it's Afro Tech. I'm a nerd myself, so I get excited when I'm around all of this knowledge. And they know way more than I know, so I'm gonna shut up talking and get ready to bring them up. But first, let me introduce the host of this next group and this next panel, Mr. Charles Gordon. Let's go.
All right, so how y'all doing tonight? Y'all good? Y'all good? Well, again, my name is Charles Gordon. I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I now live here in Houston, Texas. So I am a senior technology HR business partner. I mention that because I started off at PNC Bank. PNC asked me to move down here to be a culture carrier for the bank whenever they acquired another bank. And then now I work at Cisco Corporation. So as an HR business partner, everybody gets nervous, and I'm like, I'm the cool one. I'm actually like the cool HR business partner. People get nervous about HR, but for me, my thing is this, and I mentioned this before bringing up the panel that I truly love. And I know we're live, but it is what it is. But like I have a goal, and my goal is to break the ceiling for African Americans and Black individuals within corporate corporations. Because regardless of where you start, you can have a master's degree, and if you start off at an administrative level, you really can't get anywhere beyond maybe 2 or 3 career levels within your career there. And so I have a little black book of individuals that I really help out that are Black and African American, of course, to really help them break through that ceiling. And so it is a real goal of mine to like really challenge these leaders and to challenge these executives to think differently. And I don't care who you are or your job title is. I will make you think differently. So with that being said, let's bring up our esteemed panel. So we are here for group one. We have Sid, we have G-Day, and we also have Nikayla. Come on up. Okay, so for group one, we are here to talk about AI, robotics, and cyber security. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some targeted questions, and then I'll throw it out for everybody. Let's start off with Sid. Okay, so Sid, what emerging AI trends are shaping the future of work in the energy and enterprise space?
Check. Can everybody hear me? All right, so that's a really good question, right? So when you think about, we live here in Houston, Texas, right? Energy capital of the world. Every major oil and gas organization is here. What they want to do is create a safer and cleaner environment while continuing to do what they do. So when you think about the energy space and AI, you want to think about predictive analytics. How can we pinpoint when an issue is going to happen? How can we solve it as quickly and as effectively as possible, right? So that's what all of these energy giants are looking to accomplish, such as ExxonMobil, whether it be Shell, whether it be Chevron. How can I ensure that We are keeping sustainability high. How are we solving problems quickly, and how can we add time to value? And I think that is the main focal point for energy organizations in this space.
Got you, got you. Out of curiosity, so I know we have entrepreneurs in the room, but who all works at another company? Raise the hands. Corporation. Just so if you are not self-employed, raise your hands if you work for a company or corporation. Okay. Okay, got you. Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so let's go to G-Day. So G-Day, what lessons have you learned from implementing robotics or AI in real-world scenarios, and how do they translate across industries?
Yeah, so I think AI and robotics are having a moment right now. So I've launched my company in the last 12 months, and things are moving at a furious pace. And things that used to be implausible or not deployable are now becoming somewhat real. But the thing that people don't understand is that roboticists are the best liars, myself included, right? So we're able to tell this story and talk about these dreams. You know, we've all seen robots in iRobot do all these things. You see robots doing backflips and kung fu kicks, and you think, oh, it's a solved problem, but it's not, right? So there's a lot of work to be done there in that area, right? And I think we all need to be approaching robotics, especially embodied AI, with tangible real world problems. Having a robot come to your house to do your laundry doesn't make any sense, right? I don't know who's buying a robot to go do that, right? But having a robot to go out and help somebody do construction, maybe go to a minefield, maybe be a welder, maybe go and do some of these tasks that a lot of us don't want to be doing anymore, that's where we're going to gain some productivity. So I think we start looking at those real world problems that are right now instead of, what can happen in the future.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. Okay, all right, I appreciate that. So let's go to Nikala. So what role does cybersecurity play in protecting innovation, intellectual property, and business growth today? Now let me put a shameless plug here. She works for Disney, so she got a whole bunch of NDAs. She probably can't say much, but again, what role does cybersecurity play in protecting innovation, intellectual property, and business growth today?
So cybersecurity, first things first, right? It's usually an afterthought, right? Where people should actually be thinking about it first. If you have any data, you want to protect it before you actually deploy anything in production. People don't think about that, and they put themselves at risk. You want to mitigate the risk. Unfortunately, again, people aren't thinking about that, and so they just want to get things done fast because we like to do things in a fast manner. But I will say, innovation, we want things done, say like, oh my goodness, the microwave way, right? And AI being that thing as well. Cybersecurity is going to be, hey, have you crossed all your T's and dotted your I's? That's pretty much what it is.
Got you. Okay. Okay. So I am going to go off script just a little bit, and I said I wasn't, but just out of curiosity. So we are talking about AI right now, and I think from an HR standpoint, specifically technology HR standpoint, everybody's concerned that AI is going to take over their job.
Yeah.
And so you play to win, okay? You play to win, and if you play to win, you got to figure out how to actually use the technology. So I guess the question is, from an AI standpoint, is AI really replacing people's jobs? And if so, if they are, if I'm somebody whose job could potentially be replaced, what can I do that I will not become irreplaceable?
Well, I'll take that. So the truth is that there are some jobs that will be replaced by AI. I'll give you guys a really funny story. Some of you guys are familiar with Frontier Airlines. You guys remember when they ran that special where if you paid $850, you could fly all over America, right? Not so much of a good idea. I actually tried to call the company to, get a refund. I could not talk to a human person because they completely done away with their human customer service department. So it is in fact a real thing. However, I believe that if you learn how to leverage AI, it can first off increase your staying power. And that does not necessarily mean that you have to learn how to code. You don't have to become Elon Musk overnight, but if you can understand how to use data to make decisions, again, increase time to value, solve problems quickly, then that will allow you to outlast AI or at least grow with it within your career. So that's what I tell people all the time.
All right, since I'm probably the most controversial on this one, so I'd like to attack it from a different angle. So every time we have a, tech revolution or industrial revolution, it's always preceded by this hiring phase, right? Where people go and staff up for these areas, these new areas, and they take people from other jobs they were doing and bring them into these new sectors, right? And these new jobs. So they're now founded from the outcome of having, AI, right? So like when Uber started, right, we didn't know that there was going to be, Uber drivers left and right. Everybody's going to be doing Uber on their after hours, right? That was never a thing. So now there's jobs that are going to come out of AI and robotics that we haven't even thought of right now. And so those hiring phases are going to precede people losing their jobs by the end result of technology. So I think there's going to be a net transfer. And this happens in every industry, right? When the ATM came out, everybody thought bank tellers were going to lose their jobs, but banking boomed after that, right? So there's so many examples of this. So on the other side, I think productivity is going to increase and we're going to see that uplift.
I would say leverage it and buckle up and use it as much as you can, right? So we're talking about being innovative. Why not, right? So those day-to-day tasks that you really don't like to do, right? So I would say, okay, we're on a panel full of Black individuals here. Typically, they hire us to do jobs that they don't want to do or fix a problem. That's just from my experience, but I'm sure you all have experienced that as well. But I say that to say there's gaps that we can fill using AI now. And I think people need to understand what are those gaps? How can I do this fast, effective, and efficient? Time-wise, because that's what AI is doing. It's not going to take away the personality of individual and yourself, in banking. Hey, we need to remove those biases. So, that's a way, that you can leverage AI and, in your industry because it's needed, right? So now AI is looking at those resumes and say, okay, they're not saying that they're Black, but hey, what is here that we can use as indicators to weed them out early? So you get that denial letter quick. It's here, but utilize it for your benefit. I will say that. And remove the fear. Fear is emotion and it's a choice. And so we don't need to adapt that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that does happen a lot. And I always ask to see the diversity pool of candidates because I don't plan. But okay, so here's another question out there. So what are the biggest challenges companies are facing when integrating new technologies responsibly?
Right. So one of the biggest, and I think she mentioned it, right, security, right? But also understanding where to start, right? So I deal with some of the largest, oil and gas companies, large professional services companies. They say, hey, we're getting this mandate from the business. We want to be competitive. We want to increase our footprint. We want to increase our market share. But how in the world do we even get started? And what I tell them first is, where's your data? How confident in you are you of your data? Also, is your data secure, right? If you do launch an AI use case, or you do launch this new cool AI platform that's going to make so many customers come to your company to do business, how can you ensure them that their data is safe? And that's always where I start with customers. And that's, if you're interested in the tech space or the AI space, that's the first thing that you should learn is understanding data, the power of data, and the importance of keeping that data secure.
All right, I'll double down on what you just said. I think data definitely is very, very important. And I'll say that that data is going to be the new store of value in this new AI revolution, right? So who has the data, who has access to it, who's able to license it, who's able to monetize that data, right? So in my field, in order to get robots to do things in your environment, you have to enable those robots to train off your data, or else they will be of no use to you, right? All of us have go to the home. Our houses are all different, right? But if I can't train off data to enable my robot to be a good assistant, it won't be useful. So Data is going to be a store of value, and then how we leverage and license that data out to get that productivity is going to be key.
Okay. So what is one misconception about AI or cybersecurity that you wish people understood better?
So I think just going back to the previous question, is it going to steal my job? And my first response is it can, but will it? Will you allow it? Right. So when you adapt, adjust, and know how to utilize AI, you just put yourself ahead of the game, really, because again, I mentioned it's here to stay. So why not understand the technology? If you have the products already available to use the resources, they're free and available. It's from Microsoft to Google to Amazon. They put the game out there. It's for us to do our own reading. We sit back and watch media tell us the story. You have to utilize your resources and do the research yourself.
Yes. I like to say Google is free. Google is very free.
Yeah.
Microsoft free too, y'all.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about how can organizations. So it's actually going to be a two-part question. I'm gonna go off script a little bit, but how do organizations stay current when innovation cycles are moving faster than ever? So that's one. But then the other part is that if I'm an entrepreneur, if I'm a small business, I may feel like I cannot compete or I can stay relative with the big companies that actually have the funding to actually get the AI resources and tools. If I am starting out, right, and I'm hearing about all this AI, cybersecurity, all these sorts of things, like what can I do as a small business owner to actually implement these sort of things?
So I can speak to the first one. Understanding what you already have available to you, right? Because in our industry, oftentimes people do shadow IT, which means you say, hey, this is new. We need this now. And you have 10 other resources available to you that can do exactly the same thing. Now you're spending more money and now the labor is out the way, right? Because now you're saying, hey, we're prioritizing the tool and we don't need the people. So leverage what you have. But I will say it is important to say now this is a business need because we don't need these other 5 applications that we've been using for 20 plus years. They're outdated, but you have to have that justification and say, hey, this may be a high value target. Our data is important here, and really talk the money, because at the end of the day, that's what the higher ups care about.
I'll take a swing at the second question. I'm not an entrepreneur yet, but I will say this. First off, as a small business, you have to understand that your brand is what makes you unique. It's what makes you stand out. It's what curates a market that is specialized specifically for your customers and the people who are interested in the idea that you came up with. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about competing with those larger giants. But there are different vessels out there that cater to small businesses to help them get started. Maybe you're a small business, maybe you don't need a whole server farm, right? That may not be necessary, but there are a lot of different methods for you to get started and use AI in a small scale. And then as your business grows, there are companies that are willing to grow with your business, right? So let's say if you start off, you're I'm just making something up, right? You have a shop, you may only have 10 customers. You begin to blow up, you begin to expand, you get more customers, you're having more transactional data, hitting your shop. They have platforms that will grow as you grow, right? So, and also you want to put yourself in the right spaces to interact with other people who are doing what you are trying to do or who are having the same problems that you're having, such as spaces like this. So that's my idea.
I'm sorry, can I do like a little shameless plug?
Yes.
So there's a book called AI, The New Underground Railroad, Alan Thornton. Yes, great book, great investment. And the reason why I say that, once you get to chapter 7, right, he gives you the foundation of AI, why it's important. But once you get to chapter 7, all those resources, if you don't know how, if you don't know where, how you can generate revenue, what you can utilize from government grants and things of that sort, it's all in a book. So highly recommend getting it. Or you could borrow mine, but I'm charging. No, I'm kidding.
That's good. That's really good. That's good. Okay. So I got 2 lightning round questions, and then we'll open up for Q&A. So the first question is, what is the next big thing in AI, robotics, and cybersecurity?
The next big thing, man. So it's a hard question to answer because there's so many dynamic things, that are going on within the AI space. So this is going to actually sound relatively boring, but the lawyer here mentioned it in the previous conversation. It's document intelligence, right? So let's imagine this. You are, you're working at a law firm or you're working for a debt collection agency. You're dealing with millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of documents. You need to get an answer fast. Do you have time to comb through all of those documents to ask one question, right? No. But if you can use AI or agentic AI, which is another topic, to sort through all that information and get it answered quickly, that could save you thousands upon thousands of dollars, and it could allow you to do your job at a very faster rate. So in my space, I'm seeing a lot of companies go that route, especially with large companies like oil and gas, because they want to make sure that all those documents are secure. So imagine if you're Chevron and you are, managing, a plant, or you're managing a rig. Do you want those documents getting out to the public, to the wrong hands? No way, right? So how can you secure all those documents? How can you pinpoint millions of documents? What is the one sentence or the one line that I need to answer my question or to fix this problem, et cetera, et cetera? So I think, while it doesn't sound, it's not necessarily the coolest thing. That's something that a lot of businesses are really putting a lot of effort into solving.
The holy grail for my industry, and I think Persona AI is going to solve this problem, but is being able to have human level dexterity, right? So once robots are able to use their hands like we use our hands, then we'll be able to have a huge uplift in productivity, and we'll start being able to have robots be in our house or do all these other jobs outside. So it's really, can we understand how to make sense of the physical world from a robot perspective?
And I'll speak to my industry specifically. AI governance is going to be the next big thing, right? AI is such a new but old term that people are still adjusting and understanding exactly what it means and how to protect yourself. And so in my space, it's saying, hey, how can we follow all the regulations and policy to make sure that we're even able to have this in our environment? Because if I expose all your data and information, hey, I put you at risk. And I'm responsible for all the millions of dollars that can be possibly lost. So I would say AI governance for sure. And another shameless plug, we got people out there that look like us that are certifying people in AI governance today. Yeah.
That space is giving me a headache right now at my job. I'm trying to find people. Okay, so last question for you. And so the question is, what is one tool every company should adopt within 12 months? So I'll say it that way, but then also translation, what is one tool that I need to learn, right, in the next 12 months? If the company's learning it, what tool should I also learn?
Selfishly, I'm going to say Copilot, because if you haven't used it, it's absolutely phenomenal. Imagine if you have a presentation that you need to create, a couple of lines in Copilot, you can spit out a whole PowerPoint presentation that can be ready to go. I've done that so many times. And I am in grad school, and I don't just use it to get over on my homework, right? But let's say if you're trying to send an email to someone, but you want to make sure that it's that it's perfectly crafted, you can use it for that. I'm always sure to go back and edit to make sure that my voice is in there and it sounds authentic and it doesn't sound like a robot. But if you don't know where to start, that thing can definitely get you on your way. Yeah.
So continuous learners out there, anybody learning anything new right now? Okay, all right. I use this tool called Notebook LM. It's through Google. I put anything I want to learn in there, and I want to turn it to a podcast so I can just listen to it. That's the best way I learn. If I need to digest a whole bunch of information from a bunch of different sources, I put it in there, give me a white paper, right? So I highly suggest everyone look into that.
Honestly, I don't think it's a one size fit all because it depends on your industry and what you need. If you are starting a business, you may want to use something like a ChatGPT just to get some of those marketing, details, together. Maybe a Copilot Studio if you are going through a presentation as a student. They have Dolly if you are a creator, if you are looking to create images, things of that sort. So I really think it depends. And there's resources out there to fit your niche. And I think that's important. Utilize what you have for your niche so you can become, very innovative in your space.
Got you. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any questions out there?
So in terms of agentic AI and its ability to kind of embody the emotion aspect of things, right? That's a huge question right now. Contact centers are trying to leverage it. Doctors and physicians are trying to leverage it. How would you encourage someone to go about the agentic side of things? And we're trying to have this soulless nature, I'll call it.
I understand. So within agentic AI, and especially within call centers, because that's where we see a lot of that use case there, there's something there called sentiment analysis. And what that is let's say if I am speaking to my friend Quincy here with the photographer, with the camera, right? It monitors how this conversation is going, based on his tone and his interaction with this chat bot or with this, automated, voice bot. When the voice bot said this, how did Quincy respond? Was Quincy's temperament negative when the conversation started? What was it like when it ended? Right? We're able to pinpoint that to that level to ultimately improve, these agentic chatbots. But that's a great question.
I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Terry Baylor, Lift Life Technology, HIPAA compliance and cybersecurity firm.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
So, question for you for those that are in cybersecurity. What do y'all think the impact's going to be in terms of cybersecurity with the blockchain? Because the blockchain is going to help secure, right? Artifacts, collections, whatever the case is. So how do y'all think those two things are going to be able to correlate? Or do y'all think that cybersecurity may kind of fall on the wayside with blockchain being more adapted, becoming more regular thing? So that's my question.
Honestly, I would have to do further research, sir, because I'm not a blockchain expert and I have not delved into that area much. But I'm sure, my partners and things that have explored those areas can give me more insight.
Cool. Any other questions?
And that was a tough question. That was a tough question.
It is a tough question. It is a tough question because it's interesting because like I've read up on blockchain and the thing about it, they claim it's so secure, right? And that it's not traceable and that you can just literally like it's not repeatable. And so you can find a player that will just want to pop up. So I know a little thing or two, I am being in HR.
You good,
I know what I'm talking about.
You from
So yeah,
Pittsburgh.
so like I've seen that, but then also the biggest concern that they have is a threat to security. So I don't understand how 1 and 2 can be in the same. So, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Further research. Yeah.
That's a great answer.
NDAs. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, one more. Please, come on. I can come to you though if you want.
My name is Ray. I'm a realtor. I have a 17-year-old son. He is a high school senior, and he has expressed interest in going into cybersecurity when he graduates. So, what type of spaces can I, as his mom, put him in so that he can be around the right people who can educate him? And then, secondly, what should he be doing as an almost graduate so that he can set himself up just to go into college, be prepared, and to just really like immerse himself into the field?
Can I take the first one? Get this one. All right. So at Microsoft, I'm in an organization called Black at Microsoft, in which we mentor high school students. We teach them about tech. And we also help with that college transition. So if possible, I'd love to connect with you after this and I'll explain it. Also, I'm in another mentoring organization called Emerging 100 in Houston, in which we teach young Black men how to code. And we have different technical events that we have in order to mentor the community. So that's a huge passion of mine, and we can definitely chat about it after this panel.
And part two, because so cybersecurity is becoming very broad, like computer science is broad. So I would then ask, what areas really interest you? Would you like to code? Would you like to do something like governance, risk, and compliance? If you're into documentation, are you looking at protecting the assets? Because that's a blue team. So there's different opportunities for him. But I would highly recommend getting him a mentor in space so they can have those conversations with him now so he knows what to apply for. Just a little background on myself, going to school and not knowing exactly where I want to go can be like money spent for what? So definitely having those conversations now. I'm happy to talk to you after the panel.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Can y'all give a round of applause for the group one? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's get up group two. So we have here, we want to do welcome to the stage Timothy, Dr. Green, and Shauna. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the human side of innovation. Okay, so how technology is reshaping talent, education, and workforce strategy. I love these topics too. Okay, so let's start off with Shauna. So how can government and private sectors work together to drive innovation and workforce development?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Shauna Benjamin. I'm the CEO and founder of GovConnect. We work primarily with veterans to help them transition from their military experience to translate that into civilian market-ready skills. The way that we do that is through our primary offer. Our flagship program is the Ranked Revenue Program, and it's a 12-week program where we essentially hold their hand, give them executive coaching, licensed therapists are on board, and at the end of it, they have implementation, accountability, so that they can actually transition meaningfully after they get out of the military. So with that, I will say that the reason why I created that program is because those types of offerings don't really exist when it comes to the traditional Department of Labor veteran transitions programs that we typically have. So what we created was a little background about me, strategic outreach at Army Futures Command, GS-14. I also used to be an intelligence officer. My last assignment was at the Pentagon. So I have some deep government background there. And what we've seen is that those programs tend to be light touch at best. So what we see is that if we can have non-traditional and structured yet flexible collaboration opportunities between government and academia and the private sector, then we see that we can actually bridge those gaps by getting the expertise that's on the private side married up with the public funding that we have access to. And that for us is, we really like registered apprenticeship programs to run that model.
Okay. That was good. That was good. That was good. Okay. Mr. Timothy. Okay. So how can technology address workforce gaps, and skill shortages across multiple industries?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Timothy Butts. I'm the CEO and founder of Tech, as well as several other organizations. So how can the gap be remediated?
Yes, so how can technology help address workforce gaps and skill shortages across multiple industries?
Sure. So one of the things that we like to do is, and others have mentioned this before, the idea of mentoring. We have electronic versions of mentoring as well as hands-on mentoring. So in our organizations, we have curriculums, learning management systems as well, where we actually start to work with youth, but also adults at an early age and try to do cross-functional tracking. One, you look at the skill set you already have and see what it's called in another industry and start to track that. So you should have multiple versions of your resume, and you should also look in the mirror and see yourself different ways based on the skill set you already possess. Also, the type of technologies we have, one of them is the Loom Key, one of them is the Dolphin Parent software. We are able to track where you are right now and actually map forward by using our AI and actually use your tendencies. And that way it actually helps you leap from where you are. If there are gaps, actually say, you can mitigate that and actually cover that risk of what you didn't know, but actually accelerate your learning I don't know if you ever looked at my LinkedIn page, but there's a piece there about learning how to learn. So a person should always look at things as I'm always learning, not I don't know, but the moment you start to think about a topic, you're already learning it. So that's the first step towards mitigating that gap.
So I paused because I feel like in a lot of corporations, the idea of career pathing is a hard thing. They just don't have it solved. And so if you go to them and you say, "Hey, I want to get here," the idea of trying to figure out how to get there, your manager probably has no clue. They probably really have no type of clue. So they make it up.
Agreed.
And so, I mean, literally what you were just explaining was the way that creating career pathing inside corporations, you can make a lot of money, sir. if you
Oh,
use
well,
it.
well, there's an organization, AHIMA. In healthcare, there's an organization called AHIMA. And good, 12 years ago, I mapped out this piece where if you start here and these multiple spaces, and it's still out on the internet, you can type in AHIMA career map. And basically it will map in this many years, if you do this type of work, you should expect to be in this role. And if not this, then this. And it's already there, but why more people don't point to it and use it as a map within your healthcare career, don't know. I was responsible for physician education and that type of work for Mayo Clinic for years. So I was able to map that out. And that's what brought me to Houston. So Texas Children's brought me in and we started doing analytics on that type of thing. So I was able to apply it there and we started pulling analytics and it works.
Dr. Green. So how is AI transforming the way we educate, assess, and prepare future leaders?
I think AI is allowing us to do things that we used to do. You know, the ideal classroom, for instance, should be probably 5 kids to 1, a 5-to-1 ratio. But that's ideal. But what we do is we cram 28, 35 kids, and we expect a teacher with no paras to do this extraordinary job. So what AI allows us to do is sort of create, you know, I used to watch X-Files, and I love, you know, the concept of super soldiers. What AI allows us to do is kind of create agentic super soldiers that are sort of paraprofessionals for each child and feed that data real time to the teacher to let them know, hey, such and such is going on with Johnny. Sarah hasn't looked at her screen in 10 minutes. You know, Timmy's exhibiting signs of stress, and just allow them to touch and feel the way they used to be able to go around in the one-room classrooms years ago. And so what we're really talking about with AI in education is HI, you know, human intelligence. How much can we bring AI closer to human intelligence, where AI is empathetically, you know, learning how our child learns, listening, hearing, seeing, touching, in a way. It's like God woke me up one time and I was just like in tears because God said, I'm going to reach children through AI. You know, and it baffled me because I don't care about money. I'm into this right now in education because so many children are not being reached. So what AI is going to do is going to revolutionize personalized educational pathways for children.
Okay.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Good job, sir. Good job.
Okay. All right. All right. So I got questions out here, and I'm just going to throw them out there, and by all means, any of you can answer. So the first theme, if you will, is talent, future work, and education. Okay. So how do you foster a culture of innovation within your team or within your organizations? Again, how do you foster a culture of innovation within your team and organizations?
Okay. So for us at GovConnect, we really encourage learning and piloting. So I think I heard someone earlier say that everything's about testing. So we're really not into perfection for us. It's all about progress. And for us, you know, leaning into emerging technology that's out there, even if it's uncomfortable when you're first using it, we have no idea what we're doing. But then you play with it, eventually you start to figure out use cases for your business. And, you know, for me, it's just interacting with the technology as much as possible, all the different platforms that are out there, because there are hundreds. So when we talk AI, you immediately think Chat GPT, but there's Claude. There's so many platforms out there. So like just interacting with them, I was playing with Replit. If you want to play with something when you go home, like Replit is pretty cool for creating websites and apps. So knock yourself out. But but yeah, so that's how we do. We just play around with the technology, and we've actually worked it into kind of use a military model where we work in the training as part of our HR outcomes. So for every person that's a part of our team, learning a new way to do what we're currently doing it's built into our organization.
Okay. So I guess kind of moving to the idea of mentorship. So how can mentorship help diversify your talent pipelines in technology or even inside the education sector?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Role modeling is so important. You knowing how you appear, how you carry yourself. You often hear a person say, I want to be in that because I saw this person that inspired me. That seed being planted in a person's visual mind, their mental model, etc., is so powerful. So if we acknowledge that we as role models are in fact modeling for others, that's the first part of mentoring. And then that person being able to relate to us as someone they can respect, listen to consistently, then that also builds upon that. So that's one first element. I want to will toss it out to you guys as well. But
I'm building a product right now. I'm building a product right now. And I want to start analyzing first grade, second grade, third grade. I want to analyze what interests. AI is so good at picking up tendencies and analyzing that with the backdrop of data. And if I can start already making suggestions through AI to the teacher and to the parent at possible mentoring matches, because the parents are too busy, they got their own world, and sometimes the teachers are too overwhelmed. So then those mentoring matching opportunities, AI can make those suggestions early on in a child's career, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. So I think it starts there, and AI allows us to do that and efficiently.
Okay, so this is not a part of the questions, but so out of curiosity, so and this is like a little bit of a geeky question. So AI, right? Data, or we're talking about all things data. So your inputs equals your outputs, and so AI is only as good as the data is in terms of it being clean. Okay, so you work in underserved communities, military, youth, etc. Are you concerned about some of the data outputs that you get from AI? Because let's be honest, some of these AI models are not built for you, and they were not set up for you. So if you talk about recruiting, right, and they were talking about taking out certain applications or resumes, like sometimes it's not built for you, and so you do need the human aspect to say, I need to see everything before we move forward with an approval for anything. But are we concerned about the data around AI in terms of like what is being taught and what is being given out to folks?
So for us, one of the questions I think we had was whether or not what's the most important thing you need to be learning right now if you're in this industry. And I would say that that's probably where this is going to come in. It's critical thinking. So you have to master critical thinking. You have to master analytics. You have to be very sensitive to information and misinformation and disinformation and be very discerning. For me, I play in the technological space, I play in the government space, but I'm very grounded, I'm very spiritual too. Like that helps a lot with quieting the noise. That's really big for me. You go out there and technology is moving at lightning speed and everyone is struggling to keep up. But this is the most, I would say it's a beautiful time to be alive, right? Like for your dreams. If you're a dreamer and you're a visionary and you're a builder, like it has completely 10x my outcomes in terms of building my business. I haven't had to hire too much staff yet because of AI. So like that's what I would say. I would say I would double down on your thought processes and get clear, and I think you're good.
Okay, so then how do each of you measure success within your own domains?
And if I mean, I could, how do you measure success for tech-driven workforce initiatives, but really more specifically inside your domain?
For me, success is one, how many people have we impacted, looking at the inputs, the outputs, and then the long-term outcomes. Through that, one, I like to track youth that we've affected. I like to attract and review the adults that have switched careers. Likewise, I like to track and utilize the technologies that we've embedded, the AIs, whether it be in our Loom Key tool, whether it be in the Dolphin Parents tool, and be able to look at were those things accurate, and then be able to honestly look in the mirror and say it was or wasn't, but continuously move it. It's the first mover's advantage. You got to be bold with it and constantly make those moves. But you also got to be honest with your customer and say, here's what we're working toward. And then that's how I know I'm successful. I want to maintain my credibility with you, but I also want to make sure our tools are credible and they can be used for the long haul. That's how I know I'm being successful.
I'm curious to know about the education field.
Well, the problem with education has been revenue driven. From who's supplying the food, who's curriculum, it's revenue driven. It has to get back to results driven.
Wait, education is revenue driven?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's revenue driven. Yes.
On steroids.
On steroids. So when we can get back to results driven, where our goal is for each kid to personify, embody knowledge in their own expression, whether they're dyslexic, everything's just an expression of God. It's all our ability to adapt to God's variation of normality and allowing those kids to be embodiments of knowledge. Then we're concentrating on results, because the result is that child's expression of what God put inside of them, not revenue.
But I thought it was No Child Left Behind.
That test went away.
I guess that's why we're here. Okay. Okay. I got you. I got a couple more questions, and then we could open it for Q&A. So how can a business ensure their technology adoption is inclusive and accessible?
Build it ourselves, utilize our own demographic baselines and our own data sets. That way we know. For example, I know there are some tools that we were not even in the mix and them being developed, right? And so when we utilize them, we're thinking, why isn't it working right? Or why am I not doing this right? It's because we weren't even in the equation when it was developed. We must be in the rooms when the research is happening. We must be in the rooms for healthcare, for example, clinical trials. We have to be part of that. All these pieces have to be at a core level. That way we know it's inclusive from square one. So if that's not happening, we really shouldn't anticipate in the outputs and the outcomes that we're really going to be hitting full stride. So we've got to be there. So if you don't know how to really do research, learn how to do research and jump in there. Teach your children how to do research, but jump in there and really learn, find the right tools, and find trusted partners who can build those tools to help you get that. But that's how we get it done. We've got to be in there at level one and build it ourselves.
Okay. The other question. So how do you balance ethical considerations with innovation in AI and workforce systems?
Yeah, so I'll say actually it's the same. It goes along with the adoption process, right? Like when we were talking ethics is a really nuanced conversation, and I don't know that we have the right answer. So the only thing that we can do is ensure that we have legal in the room, we have law enforcement in the room, we have social advocates in the room, we have humanitarians in the room, we have law enforcement in the room, we have anyone who has equity in this problem set in the room when we're building, like he said, the whatever the tech, the product is, so that on the back end, naturally the outcomes are going to flow from that diversity.
Quick question. I want to ask them, how many of you remember when the idea of even taking a course in ethics was in school and then suddenly disappeared? So.
Okay, speed round. Because I know we got to wrap up. So in 10 seconds or less, what is one critical skills students or professionals should learn?
All right, Tolia, critical thinking, analytics.
Got you. Okay, all right. And then here's the other thing. What advice would you give to Black professionals entering into AI, robotics, or workforce innovation, or anything that we talked about today? What is some advice that you can give any Black professionals wanting to enter into that space?
Partner with us, utilize LoomKey, utilize Evolve with the tools that we have, but also keep an open mind. Be nimble, be a nimble mind, and be a constant learner. Always be willing to learn.
And don't be infatuated by AI. AI is just now. In 3 years, we might not even be mentioning AI. You have to allow God to progress your mind forward. God knows way more. God knew AI before it even came. So you have to be bold enough to understand I belong here in technology. Not because I'm here to learn AI, but I might be here to revolutionize what you thought was so great about AI. Now you're adopting MI or whatever. I'm just making up something. So that's kind of how I tell kids. That kid was like, he was like, man, thank you for allowing me to be in your school. I said, no, this is our school. I try to empower kids to think bigger than just, because society, especially Blacks, it has made us feel like we don't belong and that we should. No. I'm here to revolutionize everything you ever thought about technology.
That's it. I'm a pastor's kid, so you better quit playing and talk about God. It's too much. All right, so I know we gotta go. Do we have one quick question? Go ahead.
You got two. Miss, for you, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name is Shauna Benjamin.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Shauna Benjamin. So I'm in education. Also, I'm a comedian. Also, I'm an entrepreneur. But go back to the role modeling side. So I'm in middle school. I just wanted to ask you, as you being the CEO in the path that you have, all the success that you were just explaining to us, what is something that stood out to you or was said to you as a Black woman to make you want to keep going and achieve everything that you achieve?
Especially inside the military.
I told you I'm grounded. So I'm just gonna start at the beginning. I grew up in church. My mom is a praying woman, and everywhere that I ended up, like I would go, going into these rooms. Typically, you're the only one, and I would be nervous, and I would have my accent, not have I'm from the Virgin Islands, Dominica originally, so not have the right words. And she would always tell me Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. So for me, I put God first in everything that I do. Before I came in here today, I made sure I ordered my steps. I center myself. I left the military because I felt like the work that I was doing there wasn't aligned with my purpose. And so everything about this, like this gentleman here, is about purpose and making sure that we advance forward. So God.
Well, on that note, we'll get the benediction. So I appreciate all of the panelists for all of your wise words. Definitely appreciate it. Can we get these people a round of applause, please? Thank you. We're good.
All right, next on the agenda, we'll have a brief break and then we have concurrent workshops. There are 3 breakout rooms here, including this room here. You'll see those on the TVs. They're called Black Book Business Labs. We've got Shift here in the main stage, PVAMU in room 1. Room 2 will be behind the stage here with Andre, and then room 3 with JP Morgan Chase will be one of the adjacent rooms. We'll make sure you can find that. Let's take a quick break and then we'll jump right into the business labs. So about a 5-minute break before we jump into the business labs.
Before we do that break, I'm gonna bring up Mr. Alan Thornton on stage. He has a book that he wants everybody to know about. It's AI centric, and I'll let him do the honors real quick.
How's everybody doing? Come on now. First of all, give Jeremy a hand clap for putting this together, the Hive. And thank you for giving me the shout out. So shameless plug. We launched this last year in Dubai. So I heard a lot of talk about education. I heard a lot of talk about, hey, is AI gonna take our jobs? So AI is not gonna take your job. The educated person next to you is gonna take your job. So in a lot of different ways and traveling around the world and building a grant, a government contract, and running one of the largest AI communities in the world, I saw a lot of common themes. And a lot of those themes were talked about up here. Data is the new oil. We all know that, right? This is one of the only times in history where nobody's going to lynch us. Nobody's going to put us under the bus, even though they may try to. Our biggest obstacle is us. And history tends to repeat itself. And if you go back, the same algorithms, the same things that made it successful, Harriet Tubman could have saved thousands of more slaves if they only knew that they were slaves. And a lot of you don't even recognize we're in a revolution right now, and that gap between rich and poor is gonna get even more large if we don't educate ourselves. So this is not just a book, this is a movement. I go around and sell this like a mixtape, right? Because that's what it has to be. So we're doing a tour in 54 different cities around. We started in Dubai, and this not only talks about our history, but I mix in hip hop and education in it as well, because y'all got to be entertained to read something, right? So if anybody is interested, and education has an investment, right? A lot of you go spend $100 at the club, and they'll do that today, and it's not going to get you anywhere closer on your AI journey. So today, while I'm here, not only do we have a large AI community, we have an AI course, and y'all know how much courses cost, and we have our AI book. It's about a $3,000 value, and why we are at Afro Tech, we're doing all that for $100, and I'll sign it for you because I want as many people to get educated. And many of us think about a business, our counterparts, right? They will go find a contract, they'll find the money, and then find the relationships, and then start a business. We'll do it the other way around. If you want to change that today, come see me. Much love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, please go to those business labs. They'll be on the screens around so that you can see them. Choose one of your choice. Make sure that you network, connect, and I hope y'all are having an amazing time. But please, please, please check out those speakers. Get that tangible information. They're here for you to pour into you. So take advantage. Speakers, panelists, come to the stage, please. Everybody from panel 2, please come to the stage. Thank you.